If you love fire festivals, you're going to want to consider adding the annual Up Helly Aa festival to your to-do list. Lyric Up Helly Aa is a superb spectacle, a celebration of Shetland history, and a triumphant demonstration of islanders' skills and spirit. This northern Mardi Gras, run entirely by volunteers, lasts just one day and all the following night. But it takes several thousand people 364 days to organize. Much of the preparation is in strictest secrecy. The biggest secret of all is what the head of the festival, the Geyser Jarl, representing the Viking chief, will wear and which character from the Norse sagas they'll represent. In today's video, we focus on the Lyric Festival. Before we get into more details about this amazing festival, just a reminder that we have a bonus fact for you towards the very end of the video, so stay tuned. Number 1. The origins. The current Lyric celebration grew out of the older Yule tradition of tar barreling, which took place at Christmas and New Year, as well as Up Helly Aa. Squads of young men would drag barrels of burning tar through town on sledges, making mischief. Concern over public safety and levels of drunkenness led to a change in the celebrations, and saw them drawing inspiration from the island's Viking history. After the abolition of tar barreling around 1874 to 1880, permission was eventually obtained for torch processions. The first Yule torch procession took place in 1876. The first torch celebration on Up Helly Aa Day took place in 1881. The following year, the torch-lit procession was significantly enhanced and institutionalized through a request by a Lyric civic body to hold another Up Helly Aa torch procession for the visit of Alfred, Duke of Edinburgh. The first galley was introduced and burned in 1889. In 1894, Haldane Burgess, a Shetland author, wrote the book The Viking Path, which was a major influence in creating the Viking theme of the Up Helly Aa festival. Burgess also wrote the Up Helly Aa song, which is sung at the burning of the replica longship and elsewhere. The honorary role of the Jarl was introduced to the festival in the early 20th century. In reality, despite many sources claiming these ancient origins, the festival, and many like it, were products of Victorian do-goodery. The Lyric Up Helly Aa was first established by the Total Abstinence Society in the 1870s to give the young men who would otherwise drink themselves silly something to do. The name itself derives from Up Holiday, the Lowland Scots' word for 12th day, and was brought by them to the Shetland Islands in the 19th century. Number 2. What it actually means. The Geyser Jarl is the principal character in the celebration of Up Helly Aa, which takes place on the last Tuesday in January. Each Geyser Jarl takes the name of a figure in Norse legend like Floki of the Ravens. The Jarl's squad is made up of the Geyser Jarl's supporters. It is the principal of many squads, and the participants are called geysers. The galley. Each year, a replica of a Viking longship is built for Up Helly Aa. The procession. After nightfall, the longship is dragged through the streets of the town in a torchlight procession. The torchbearers are the members of all the squads, led by the Jarl's squad. Each squad chooses a theme and dresses accordingly. The themes are very varied, some historical, some topical, or satirical. The circle around the galley. When all the torchbearers arrive at the first resting spot of the longship, they form a circle around it and sing the traditional Up Helly Aa song. Setting fire to the galley. After the singing of the Up Helly Aa song, the geysers throw their torches into the longship. The burning galley. Once the longship has burned and the flames die down, geysers sing the traditional song The Norseman's Home before going on to a night of partying. Any available large room is pressed into service as a hall presided over by a hostess who issues invitations to attend, and every geyser squad visits every hall in turn to dance and drink with the guests. As there can be dozens of squads and dozens of halls, this takes most of the night and well into the following morning. The day after is the Hop Night, where further dances and celebrations are held. Number 3. What actually happens? Lyric's Jarl will have been planning and saving up for the longest day of their life for 15 years or more, before donning a raven-winged helmet, grabbing axe and shield, and embarking on a 24-hour sleepless marathon. Along with the rest of the committed volunteer crew, the Geyser Jarl will have spent thousands of hours planning and preparing each and every detail of Up Helly Aa and its associated events until the big day dawns. On the evening of Up Helly Aa, almost 1,000 heavily disguised torchbearers in groups known as squads form ranks in the darkened streets of Shetland's capital. Only the lead or Jarl squad wears Viking dress. The rest are in costumes ranging from the almost sublime to the totally ridiculous. Even those not taking part in the torchlight procession can play a huge part in the festival, organizing, hosting at the halls, preparing and catering, and having a wonderful time in what, for many, is the social highlight of the year. There is always lots of dancing, seeing old friends, and enjoying the occasional drink in what was originally an entirely dry festival aimed at encouraging abstinence. Officially in some halls, more than others, it still is. Each geyser shoulders a stout fencing post, topped with paraffin-soaked sacking. On the stroke of 7:30 p.m., a signal rocket bursts over Lerwick Town Hall. The torches are lit, the band strikes up, and the amazing, blazing procession begins, snaking half a mile astern of the geyser Jarl, standing proudly at the helm of his doomed replica longship or galley. It takes half an hour for the Jarl's squad of Vikings to drag the galley to the burning site, through a crowd of 5,000 or more spectators. The geyser circles the dragon ship in a slow-motion Catherine wheel of fire. Another rocket explodes overhead. The Jarl leaves the galley to a crescendo of cheers. A bugle call sounds, and then the torches are hurled into the lovingly crafted vessel. As the inferno destroys 4 months of painstaking work by the galley builders, the crowd sings The Norseman's Home, a stirring requiem that can bring tears to the eyes of the hardest Viking. Tears of mirth are more likely as the night rolls on, and more than 40 squads of geysers visit a dozen halls in rotation. They're all invited guests at what are still private parties, apart from a couple of halls where tickets are on sale to the general public. At every hall, each squad performs its act, perhaps a skit on local events, a dance display in spectacular costume, or a topical send-up of a popular TV show or pop group. Every geyser has a duty, as the Up Helly Aa song says, to dance with guests in the hall before taking yet another dram soaked up with vast quantities of mutton soap and bannocks. Number 4. Females in Fire. Females have traditionally been restricted to taking part as hostesses, which involves organizing the all-night parties that take place in community halls across Lerwick. The rules have now been relaxed for the main procession in the town. In 2015, the smaller South Mainland Up Helly Aa appointed its first female geyser Jarl, or squad leader. The festival's gender issue has caused heated debate in the local community in recent years, and campaigners welcomed the announcement. The Lerwick Up Helly Aa committee took the decision to drop gender restrictions after members discussed how to take the event forward following a 2-year absence due to the pandemic. Thank you for staying. It's now time for the bonus fact. Even those not directly involved in the festival help build the excitement in the weeks leading up to it. The shops and stores of the community participate in a window decorating competition. What do you think about this festival? Comment down below and let us know if it is something you would like to witness in person. If you enjoyed the content, uplift the channel by hitting like, subscribe, and ring the YouTube bell to meet us again in the next video. Until next time.